Baseball's dead. Rest in peace.
It's a Thursday episode, and I got some good news, and I certainly have some bad news today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
What?
where do you want to start? Which one do you want first, Dallas? Do you want the good news or do you want the bad news?
You know, I like to get my day started off on the right foot. So
Okay.
hit me. The power of positivity is a real thing. Come on,
Yes,
give it to me. I'll be
truly
able to
is.
withstand
Yeah.
the bad shit after I
Yep.
get the good shit.
Yep. Okay.
Hit it.
The good news is there is going to be quite the listener engagement today. There's going to be listener participation today.
True.
We're going to have tons of listener questions that we're going to try our best to whip through as many as we can in a timely manner on this podcast, which I feel like we haven't done in a long time anyway. I feel like, listeners are trying to get involved, especially on this week where the Baseball is Dead Discord hit 1,000 members. And I even questioned when we were doing it, because today is another Family Feud episode. It's Thursday, Family Feud episode. And I was like, first of all, where the fuck are these surveys getting conducted? And you're like, oh, they're on the Baseball is Dead Discord. I'm like, how many? Like, if you need 100 responses, you're gonna put it out the night before. Like, that feels like a little, up against the clock. No, they put out the survey last night and they got 100 responses in under 5 minutes. Again, it's like a rush to get in the fucking survey. It's like a thing.
Frankly, you sound shocked, and that's a little disrespectful. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not.
I'm going to be honest.
I guess it's because I don't understand quite how the Discord world works.
You don't appreciate it. You don't appreciate it.
I do appreciate it.
Look, I've been a lifelong Discorder for the past 24 to 28 hours. And Jared, I can tell you with 100% certainty that this is a group that has banded together, that has formulated one of the most evolved and intricate webs of baseball fandom. And the fact that you did not have them on the radar, you didn't have them, and you clearly did.
Well, hold on. Let me
You're going to need a day or two head start for these fucking people?
Let me follow up.
5 minutes.
You put out the survey.
Minutes.
Like, all right, maybe Jay can answer this question, or Jayhay, they're more well-versed in the Discord world. You put out the survey. How do they know that it's there? Are they just manually checking back? They get alerts?
Alerts.
For every post? They have an alert for every post? How, do you post at a specific time on a specific day? Like, how do they know? Like, how does the survey get filled up in less than 5 minutes?
I'll tell you this, Jared. We'll get you locked in.
No, you go, Dallas.
I
asked a question to Jake and Jayhay. Dallas, take away. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just letting you know.
You can mention.
What were you going to let me know?
As a Discord guy, I was going to let you know. But
go ahead. No.
You know what? I want you to hear it from somebody else. Nope. I want you to hear it from somebody else. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Jake, how's it work?
You can @ everyone, so it gives them a notification. But the mods also made a specific Family Feud channel because they're the best.
Okay, got it. All right, that's cool. I'm excited. Hopefully, I get to play this week.
Yeah,
I don't know. That'd be sick.
Shout out the mods, Jared. You know who that is, right?
Zach. Right? There's a Zach involved.
There is.
Yeah. Okay.
In the mods.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is probably going to make Jared less inclined to engage in the community, but you also have
Tracy, Luke, Cameron, and Zach.
You also have to understand that there are like 30 or more different channels within the Baseball is Dead podcast Discord overall. There's one for example, obviously not going to read all of them to you. There's one called Potty Talk, specifically for the pod. And when the pod is released, it's dropped in there. There's fantasy baseball talk. There's betting talk. There's a channel for international baseball. There's one for baseball nugs, signings and releasings. There's even a Bringin' the Cheese channel, boys.
Wow. Is that what inspired you to bring it back?
That's how thorough it is. There's on and off engagement in the Bringing the Cheese Discord folder throughout the off season. But
we got to pick that back up.
I'm happy to bring. I think a lot of people, dozens of people, would be really excited if we brought back Bringing the Cheese. So
they deserve that.
If there is a, not Sargento, I know that's a family-owned company. If they wanted to come on board to sponsor something like that, I think that could be great. But maybe an entry level boar's head, something we can go with just a basic charcuterie accoutrement. Cabot, that's a New England thing. We're big New England representation here. So just some ideas. But anyway, yes, Bringing the Cheese, we'll bring it back. But yeah, Discord, great.
This is one of those things that, I wish I could get involved. I only know Pecorino. That's it.
Yeah, no, took you some time to wrap your mind around Pecorino even too, right?
Yeah. I've never even had it. I mean, I think, I just know
really
what it
good,
is.
actually. Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys start talking cheese, and I'm just like, I'm taking a back seat to this one. I know Kraft macaroni.
That would be a
macaroni and. Yep. So that's the good news, is that we're gonna have Twitter questions on this episode, and there's a lot of them. I think I put the tweet out like a half hour ago. We are at 105 questions, which is nice. So we'll have plenty questions to sift through. Yeah, but half of them are just asking Jayhay what's his fucking problem with Triston Casas. So that gives us 50 questions that are outside of that particular issue.
You know what I hate? I hated to find out that if for some reason I just like if my voice went out or something, right? Mm-hmm. And I still just wanted to be pulled up on the screen with the boys. And like, I just kind of want to, Jayhay would probably request from Jake, turn the fucking screen off, turn his video off. Like, I'd just be here like, oh, and Jayhay couldn't fucking stand it at all. Yeah. Get this guy that wants to be a part of this guy that cares, get him the fuck out of here.
You know what would be,
I've had it with him.
Would be funny if that situation played out and you did that, your version of that would be you like banging your mic or something like that, or yelling because the internet's not connected or because your mic's not plugged in or some shit like that. That would be you staying in podcast shape. I mean, we can talk about that tweet and the reaction if you want briefly. All I'll say is that
we'll get wait for the question. Fine. We'll wait for the question. Questions, because there's plenty of them. And when I first saw Jayhay's tweet,
why are you a cocksucker?
When I first saw Jayhay's tweet, I was like, all right, yeah, this is gonna piss off a few Red Sox fans. I checked back this morning. This tweet has 2.2 million views. 2.2 million. There's 378 replies to this tweet.
That's not a terrible ratio. There's some. Listen, I'll say this. I usually
hate you.
I usually feel like I'm usually treated pretty favorably on Twitter, and that most of my tweets generate a pretty strong positive percentage reaction. Mm-hmm. This has definitely been the closest to a mixed bag of anything I've tweeted in a long time, and certainly in terms of volume, it's the most mixed bag. I mean, I think it's.
Is it?
No, it's definitely.
Did you mute the conversation?
It's definitely mixed. There are Red Sox fans telling me that it's obvious I didn't play baseball past high school, where I'd love to have that side conversation. And then there's the entire other group of people who have no personal investment in this player and are saying it's basically Russell Wilson doing his thing on the NFL field. So whatever, 50-50 split is fine. I'm certainly not going to be tweeting on that topic ever again.
I got to tell you, Jayhay, out of the two of us, I'm glad that I ended up on the right side of Triston Casas.
How are you on the right side?
I enjoy the man. I enjoy everything he's about. I
so
truly
you would say
appreciate
a lot of people do what he was doing, and that it's not that big of a deal, and that everybody who ever played high school baseball just fucking hangs around and does that in the dugout, despite the fact that you never see video of anybody else doing that ever, and that the only response anybody ever had, the only example anybody could provide was Shohei Ohtani in a game he was fucking participating in. And that to me probably matters. Are you playing in the game in 5 minutes, or are you out for 2 months?
Well,
great
Jayhay,
parallel.
Did Did you see the tweet yesterday where before the game, Casas was standing in the batter's box with no one on the field, just looking out into center? Did that piss you off too?
Like, why can't he visualize being great? What do you have against the man trying to visualize greatness?
First of all, I am going to play the semantics game because I didn't say any of it pissed me off. I said it would have to be annoying if you're a teammate. Annoying to me.
If you were his teammate, would you be annoyed? If you were his teammate, you'd be annoyed.
Clearly, that's the implication of the tweet. I think somebody doing that while they're out for months, and the presumption is that he's doing it all the time. It's not that the snippet that you got in the video is the only instance of him doing that during the course of a game. If that's the case, well, then everything's out of context and I take it back. If that's the only time he's ever done that or the only time he did that during the game, then then that's not annoying, I guess. But if he's doing it every pitch, every at bat,
what would you have him do?
I think that would be mildly annoying.
You have him go up to the clubhouse and throw the Oculus on and take some virtual at-bats when he could be standing right down there at Fenway Park taking in the at-bat, Jayhay.
To me, annoying as a word falls within the scope of being pretty lighthearted. I didn't say he was a bad person. I didn't say that he sucks. I didn't say even that it makes me mad or pissed off. I said I think it would be, I'm guessing it would be irritating. I think it would be irritating. It's hard to imagine it wouldn't be annoying. That's it. The response from the percentage of Red Sox Nation who chose to respond in the way that they did is very much not about me. And that's what I learned. It's not about the tweet. It's not about me. There is a whole other local media environment criticism of this player that is going on and a nitpicking of him that's going on that I will admit I was broadly aware of, but not appreciative of in terms of the intensity of what's going on. So I'm not looking to pick on him specifically. I don't talk about him all the time. I don't rag on everything that he does. In fact, I think the only mention of him on this podcast to the point where we did was me bringing up how good he had been statistically like 3 days before he got injured. Okay. So this isn't a grudge match. This isn't anything like that. It was an observation of one thing from one dude. And I now appreciate that there is a poisonous environment going on with some sports talk radio stuff as it relates to him. And I'm not looking to feed into that. So I won't be talking about this player in that regard anymore.
Hate to see that. I am not shocked.
Hate to see that.
I am not shocked at all that you absolutely hate the way the man cares about his team.
That's not what I said.
I am not shocked at all.
No,
there's no button to quantify on your calculator how he's preparing right now. So he's got to be annoying. Nobody wants to see that. You get out of here. Well, he's in my way. I'm trying to watch this at bat and every third pitch that comes along with it as a bench player. And this guy who's trying to power my team into the fucking postseason once he gets back, so I can't stand it.
I was criticized for being a guy who didn't play past Little League in my observation of this, because all of these guys who stopped playing after junior year of high school were able to tell me that, bro, we do that all the time. I do that at my job right now. I take dry hacks. And I would tell that person if in my office someone was taking actual dry swings with a baseball bat because they couldn't let go, I would say that person's annoying too.
So what about?
So would everybody. Give me a fucking
What about
break.
the guys? What about the guys working on their golf swing in the office, Jayhay? What about?
Yes, this is not sports exclusive. This is not
fuck them.
This
fuck
is not
them too.
No, I didn't say fuck them. I said it would be annoying. It is annoying. If a guy came into your office and took his golf swings for 15 minutes every hour, just kind of like 10 feet away from your desk all the time
if he showed back up, Jayhay, if he showed back up and I was like, dude, you're here again. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go play Pebble next month with the family. And I'm just kind of walking the back nine right now in my head. So if you see me come through here again, another 15 minutes, it's just like I'm hitting my second shot.
None of those people would bring their family to play Pebble. They'd go off by themselves. We all know that. Dallas. Okay. So before we derail the podcast entirely on this one topic, Dallas, I want you to tell me, because, I didn't play Major League Ball. I didn't even play college ball.
Okay. All right.
So this is something
that doesn't matter to me.
I know
to
it
answer
doesn't.
this question too. I've played baseball on a big league diamond, and I've gotten a hit off of a college pitcher. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you are equally able to answer this question because you spent time in the dugout and stuff like that. So this
he's played baseball against high school and college kids as an adult. So he's for sure.
Basically, what I was told is that everybody does this. So what you're going to tell me, both of you right now, is that you see Major League Baseball players doing this all the time.
I do it.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much. While I am conceding this conversation in terms of my interest in ever having it again, I'm not conceding that I was correct. So, I'm taking the 2.2 million views and I'm saying that's a lot of people who saw what I saw. And then you'll take the 300.
Yes, they did.
Then you'll take the 300 or so replies and you'll say, "Yep, sorry about the season," sort of thing.
Jayhay, Tim Raines led the majors with 123 runs scored.
1987. Yeah! Let's fucking go! That's what I'm fucking talking about. That is karma, baby. I was absolutely disgraced on this episode 209 yesterday. I was like it was a trick was being played on me. Bouncing back 2002, 2000, whatever it was. Come out here today, fucking first pitch, bam.
Nobody's needed a win more than Jay.
Let's go. We're back.
Damn. Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
The other hints were the MLB All-Star Game was held at the Oakland Coliseum. Joey Cora made his big league debut on April 6th of this year. Tony Gwynn won his second batting title in his first of 3 straight. The first pick in the MLB draft was a fella by the name of Ken Griffey Jr. Nolan Ryan led the majors with 270 strikeouts, and Dave Stewart and Roger Clemens were the only 20-game winners.
20-game winners.
1987.
I think the Griffey.
I would have got.
I think the Griffey.
I would have got the 87.
I think the Griffey clue would have been my backstop clue. I think that would have been the one that saved me if I hadn't gotten it to that point.
The Coliseum I would have got just because that was also Max.
Well, I wouldn't have given it to you.
Record breaking. Oh, well, then I would have fucking lost.
Well,
yeah, I would not have.
I'd have just been standing at the end of the dugout waiting for my next turn. You know,
I wouldn't. You will put it this way: you will never get a year where there is a clear Oakland A's. Like you would have got Dave Stewart 20 games. You would have got the All-Star Game being in Oakland. You will never get an Oakland heavy clue for a year. Ever.
That's bullshit.
Ever.
That seems
we back.
Seems kind of biased.
Yeah, I need to apologize to Jayhay. I fucked up yesterday. What happened? And this is what happened. When we do the MVP segments for Jayhay, I have a website that it's a random year generator. So I've been doing that for guess that year, and it came out to 2000. And I started researching, and I was like bored by it. So I left to go get my coffee, came back, and decided to change it to 2002. So all the hints were 2002, but I never changed the year on the notes app. So I wrote all my hints in 2002, but it said guess that year, 2000, and I just forgot that I did that. So that's on me. Did you guess 2002?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. It's big of you to own up to that. I appreciate it. And as far as I'm concerned, we don't ever need to talk about it again because I just want to focus on what happened today.
Yeah, which is just a first time ever we've had a win in our first
one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a nice standard moving forward for everybody who gets it, including myself.
I'll have to keep track of one and dones.
Yep.
I mean, obviously Joey doesn't listen to the podcast. So what year do you think I should give him when I do him? I'll do like 2023.
Yeah, I was going to say the closer to him last year. Yeah,
give him last year.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, give him last month.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, there's no point in doing a year where he wasn't alive.
No,
that's not what this is about.
That's not what this is about at all.
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair. So, all right.
No.
That was the bad news. The bad news was I fucked up. The other bad news was that there's not really any baseball news, which is why we're doing the Twitter questions, but that was also part of the positive news. The bad news is that there's no real topical news, and we're not going to like make up clickbaity bullshit conversation topics. So that's why we're just going to hammer out these questions.
Love it.
I was going to say about the. Let me ask you guys this before we start on the Twitter questions. Have you guys found yourselves thumbing through the bat tracking data at all? Is
Not
that
yet.
something that has interested you or caught your attention or anything?
It will, I think. Well, maybe you don't know the answer to this. How is it backlogged? Like how much data do they like? When does it start?
This season.
When's it started from the beginning of the season? Okay.
They started.
All right.
They started tracking it. I mean, they had instruments in place, but their confidence level in all
Accuracy.
of it being yes,
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, I think I'll probably like thumb through it, but I don't know that I'll be super interested until I can like compare like year to year, month to month type stuff.
I'm almost like I almost want to wait for an off day because I start looking at it and I'm like, you can do what I like. Remember when I was talking about count specific and all like there's just so many different layers that you can start to go through. Like what parts of the zone, like whether it was a chase pitch, a waste pitch, like it just there's so many different filters.
I think that
I can't.
I think this year
Go
almost
ahead,
would
Jay.
be a leaderboard thing for me.
To watch, yeah, because I
Just, like,
was
top and
waiting
bottom
for.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I want them to. I mean, that's what it is right now, right? For us to get just a good feel for what the eyeballs have been telling us, and now what matches up numerically. I forget what I was looking at, but it like I think I was looking at 1-2 sliders, like who still swings, who has zero change in their swing, and I think it was like Javi Baez is like way down here all by himself. Everybody else is up at the top of the screen, like that has cut some of their swing down. And Javi's like, nope, fuck that.
Well, that all that says to me is that he just doesn't have the ability to identify pitches anymore. Like they just all look the same to him.
So that's why I asked the question, because those types of questions and those types of opinions are what are born out of sifting through this and how you look at this. Like, what does that tell you, right?
Yeah. The MLB season is in full swing. Speaking of swings, the MLB season is in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Last night, Celtics close out the Cavs. Jake, you excited about that?
Yeah, it was big. Hit all the hires like I usually do on the season. Going to keep doing that in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, attaboy. Who are they going to end up playing, you think?
Probably the Knicks, but we'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Who would you rather
I love
see?
that. The Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
You'd rather
Yeah.
just take the beat up team that you.
I think it's a more iconic matchup.
Oh yeah, you're looking for some gravity to the situation.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah, give me some depth to it.
love it.
Yeah. Make sure you use the sign up promo code Jared, Jared, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That is Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. All right, let's take a look-see at these Twitter questions here. If your team could trade for one player right now, who would you want? This is from our buddy Greg Colley.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Jayhay?
I mean, I think the question implies that contracts and stuff matter and all that sort of thing.
Oh, really?
I mean, I still think
Oh,
the answer for me is it's such an uncreative answer, but like if my team traded for Shohei Ohtani tomorrow, I'd be like, my life changed a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Well, isn't that the answer for everybody?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
If you're
that be the
talking
answer
about
for
more
everybody?
like we're building for the future, like what guy do I want is the centerpiece of my future type of thing.
Well, why isn't it still him?
It could be. It could absolutely be that. I'm just trying to come up with a different type of answer. I mean,
well, that's why I went Bobby Witt Jr.
Sure.
is because
He's a
I
great
think
answer.
Shohei Ohtani is the easy answer in terms of like that's the no-brainer. And I know that that's what creates the fatigue is that you're like, is around every corner, is this dude the answer? Well, you're just kind of thrown by the fact that he's a real life version of things that you have thought about in your head mythically. He just hits real life. He does everything that you're like, well, only if he did this would I. Well, he fucking does that. He does that. So he would be the answer. I mean, every time.
I think Gunnar Henderson has put himself into the Bobby Witt sort of sphere category of player, of asset. Obviously, he's not under long-term contract. What's wrong, Jerry?
I just thought of my answer and it pissed me off.
Oh, what is it? Is it
Juan Soto?
You know who I'd love to trade for? A guy by the name of Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Would love to have him on the Red Sox right now.
He would be a good addition.
Yeah, like if you had Mookie Betts, like now you're talking MVPs, you're talking World Series titles,
Talking good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great fashion.
You're talking bars
Great
that
fashion.
put the Red Sox game on in Fenway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe you're not talking great fashion. Maybe when you take the player out of LA, you can take LA out of the player, and then you can just like kind of be normal again. But
maybe.
Yeah, I feel like that would undo so much bad juju, bad karma, bad vibes here in Boston if we just made that trade. Just got him.
You went got Mookie back like nothing ever happened. All right, he's back and scene. Let's go.
All right. Jake, am I crazy for saying that I think that trading, obviously this would never happen, but like in the hypothetical scenario where the Red Sox traded for Mookie back, that would have a greater impact than if the Red Sox traded for Shohei Ohtani?
I think with past storylines, it would be a crazy story.
It would win back a lot of the fans that have gotten so bitter that they don't care anymore.
Well, I was going to say, that's not a win for the fans. That's more of a win for John Henry. Would it not be?
Both. That one can be both.
Yeah, it's a win for both. Yeah. You get a really good player for half the price, I guess. Yeah. Brandon Warren. Well, Jake, who would your player be?
I'd go Mookie Betts.
Yeah. If you were forced to root for another team, who would it be? I feel like for Dallas, it has to be a team that's not the Pirates or the A's.
I mean, well, I guess
mine
my
is
answer would
super easy. I'm fucking.
So is mine. The Phillies.
The fucking Phils, dude. Are you kidding me? They got all my fucking favorite players. They got Bryce Harper. They got Schwarber. I love Wheeler. I love Nola. I mean, I wish Rhys Hoskins was still there, but yeah, that's just a fucking fun team to watch, especially in the playoffs. Like, yeah.
I'm rolling with the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I mean,
Yuck.
That's probably a lot of people's pick.
Well, it's the team that the individual who spent the better part of their adult life playing baseball with me as a child was a huge Atlanta Braves fan. So, sentimentality.
It's a good pick.
The Atlanta Braves. And I mean, fuck, team of the 90s.
Yeah.
Team of a lot of people's
fan base
childhood.
Is fucking awesome. The ballpark's
regardless of where you
awesome.
grew
They have
up.
a ton of talent.
Ballpark's great. Mascot's great. Shout out Bloops.
Love Blooper. Jayhay?
For me, it's kind of an easy either or. It's either the Cubs or the Phillies, given where I've spent my life. But I think I would ultimately go with the Cubs. My time outside of Philadelphia coincided with my most passionate Cleveland fandom. So I think that one would be a little bit harder, even though that's where I grew up. But I had some amazing experiences at Wrigley Field as like a teen and young adult and stuff like that, and on the rooftops across and going back for work and stuff like that. So, and I still have a lot of friends out there, many of whom still go to the games and are now bringing their children to games, which is super cool. So,
all right. Well, Jay, you're bringing a different dynamic to this. Does this mean we get to move to the city?
No, I wasn't implying that. I was just saying that, like, my brother still lives outside of the city.
If that's the case.
My brother still lives outside of the city. I still have lots of friends there. I have experiences there. I'm not a fan of the Cubs, but like, I've had really, really cool experiences and stuff there. I mean, well, that's why I got to go there for work at one point. Like I've been there a lot, and it's a very cool experience in a way that, I really like Citizens Bank, but it's not quite the same thing.
Well, the Cubs, because Cubs fans, I mean, and those two places, Philadelphia and Chicago, like their fans make coming to a game an event
for sure,
more so, and an experience more so than other fan bases, which is why I said,
so does Philly, dude.
Do we get to move to the city? Because Toronto would be great. Like some of the fucking crowds they get, like to be a part of just 40,000 screaming Canucks losing their shit. I'm into that.
No. Wheels wants to know, why does Jayhay hate Triston Casas?
We covered this. I don't hate him. I don't feel any way in direction. I don't really feel any sort of way about the guy, other than I thought that one thing that he was doing or might be doing would be probably annoying if I was around it a lot.
He hates that he cares.
This is I feel like this is a question right up your lane, alley, Jayhay. Ray wants to know, if you guys could take over one of the bottom 5 organizations in baseball altogether, which would you take, and your goals within the first 3 to 4 years as owners / GMs?
Are we going bottom? Does he have a list, or is it just bottom 5 by standings right now?
Didn't specify.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so that would be, for everybody's awareness, that would be the Marlins, White Sox, Rockies, Angels, and then there's a tie. So maybe we can just go with those 4.
They're probably taking over the Angels, no? You'd have to take over the Angels.
I don't know, man.
Hold on, what are our options?
Angels, Rockies, White Sox, and Marlins.
4.
I think those are actually some pretty intriguing options for pretty unique reasons, because there's nothing about the Marlins in theory, if we're taking it over, they don't have to be continue to be cheap, do they? Or are we operating?
No, that's no. That's where I was going with. And I'm thinking bigger picture. Like I'm thinking environment. I'm thinking ability to bring in the community, and I'm thinking ability to reel in free agents.
They've tried that though.
But they've tried and failed because they haven't done it correctly, and they haven't done it the way we would do it. That's the difference.
And I'm not even saying the answer is Miami. I just think, for reasons that Dallas started to lay out, that's intriguing. Though I think the White Sox, if you remove Jerry Reinsdorf from the situation, why are the White Sox not an extremely appealing option for this question? It's the 3rd largest market in the country. They should be operating as one of the 6 or 7 largest payrolls in the sport. They have a very rich history. They go back, obviously, much further than any of these other 3 options in terms of franchise depth and stuff like that. I think they have cool uniforms and logos and stuff like that. Like, I just think the White Sox could be badass. That could be a badass fucking franchise with everything that it's got going on, if it just was operated by different people and we could be those people.
Yeah.
I also
like
think
the question
the Rockies,
better if we're an ownership group.
Yeah, like we got to, yeah. Well, the Rockies are also interesting.
Are they? Like that's a tough place to recruit. Like,
so you're saying because of the field
too.
conditions and the atmosphere, there's nothing we can do about that.
That's why, like, I'm attracted to the Angels, is because, like, I feel like you have a much easier time attracting free agents. They want to go to California. A lot of the best talent comes from that area, so it's like going home. If you have the money, you have the geographical preference of a lot of guys. And especially with all the talent coming out of Japan, huge leg up being on the West Coast.
Well, this is why Miami is so attractive, is because think about your market. Who are you competing with in that direct market in Miami? Like Chicago, you got the other guys. LA, you got the other guys. You also got San Diego. So Miami, feel like you got a stronghold on an area that you don't have to compete with. And when you talk about destinations, how about no fucking state tax? Big fan of that.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about bringing in free agents and shit? You're about to break them off. There's a big difference between California and paying that piper and paying the homie in Florida. Very different.
Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah. And I do think that because of its close proximity to Cuba and the ties with Latin America, like if you do that correctly, which they tried, right? Like they
tried.
Didn't work out. Ozzy
Reyes.
Well, no. I'm talking about Ozzy Guillen about 10 minutes into his tenure.
Praising
was like
Fidel Castro.
And that Fidel guy, decent human, right? Like why are we all up in arms about Fidel? Like that was probably not the greatest approach. And so I feel like maybe given a second opportunity to do that, Miami would be a place where you could watch baseball thrive. Absolutely. It would be a cultural experience to go to Miami and take in a ball game.
Okay.
I hear all of Jayhay's points in the White Sox, but I think ultimately it comes down to the Angels and the Marlins.
I'm less excited by the proposition of the Angels, but I'm willing to compromise, and I'm willing to go to Miami with you guys.
Wow.
Come on.
I mean, I like the ballpark better in Anaheim, even though it's like kind of cookie cutter, but like they get the rocks, like they have identifiable things.
You're right.
They get
how about this?
Pyro.
I got a solution.
I'll go to Miami if we have pyro. If we have shit blow up when we hit homers, I'm in.
Fine, and I'll do you one better.
Done.
We're bringing back the home run statue.
So,
there you go, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, bring back the monument.
Worst decision they ever made. Lean into it.
Yeah, thanks, Jeter.
You
fucking that guy.
Yeah, what a boring.
He hates
what
fun.
a boring.
Nobody
dude.
hates fun more than Derek Jeter.
See,
it's crazy.
Fired the Marlin.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe like I'm really down on the Marlins, but I think you know what? I think what I would probably have to do. And this wouldn't take much
effort.
They
got good city connects too.
Great. We there's plenty of options that we could do with the uniforms because it's Miami. We can bring in a bunch of colorful stuff for that.
We're having Miami Vice night for sure.
Bring back the old ones, the 90s.
Have Dwayne Wade night. We can have. All I have to do is go back and watch the World Baseball Classic in Miami, because then it's like, all right, see, this is what it could be like if we have a good team. Like the baseball fans are here. They just don't support the Marlins. They support baseball, though.
The reason the Marlins is because that would be baseball's closest representation of what winter ball and that experience is like, and you would have that stateside. It would be a completely different experience, man. Completely different experience.
Can I propose something else too? Can we rename the team? Like I feel like the Marlins. I feel like it's like a dirty word to be like, the Marlins. Like people just like look down on it. If we renamed the team and rebranded and had an ownership where we were top 10 in payroll, and we leaned into the community, I feel like it's a fresh start. I'd rather that would sell me on all of it.
What's our name? We need Joe here for this. The Miami what?
Yeah, he would have something pretty good. We'll ask him.
Yeah, we'll save that as a revisit. I'm down to go to Miami though. I'm in. Yeah. And by the way, once we totally turn the franchise around, and we have like an incredible amount of goodwill built up in the community, and we've greased enough politicians, we can take the stadium from its current location, which is not great, and move it to maybe like Waterside. Get a
Where
real.
the fuck is that?
No, like by the water.
But
there is no. I don't think
I've
there's
never heard of Waterside.
No, it's not like Waterside is like a community
is that
within
south
Miami.
Or is that the Panhandle? Is that the?
No, I'm saying like
doesn't that make our ballpark susceptible to tsunamis?
Oh yeah. Yes.
To what?
Hurricanes. More so.
Oh yeah, hurricanes, water damage. Yeah.
Oh,
something we got to think about.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's something we got to think about.
You laugh, Dallas. Buddy, I hope you don't get taken out by a tsunami. This video is going to come back and haunt you.
Hey, I survived. I survived a tsunami in 2014 in Hawaii, pal.
Tsunami survivor. Well,
yes, tsunami survivor.
So doesn't mean it won't happen again.
Got the T-shirt to prove it.
Well, all right.
Next question. We're going to Miami. That's it.
Miami. It is.
Just got to figure out a team name
from Ray. What is a ballpark you found underrated after finally attending a game there? This is from Justin. I know my answer. It's Coors Field. I don't know that I have low expectations, but the ballparks that everyone blows are Fenway, Oracle, and PNC. Those are like, and Wrigley. Everyone blows those ballparks. And Coors was just kind of, you know, it was the next on the list. We just happened to be going to Denver, and I fucking love that ballpark.
Oh, I
love the little, you know, restaurant treehouse thing out in right center. I love any ballpark that you can walk the circumference of and always see home plate. And there's no like restricted areas. Like at Fenway, you can't walk around the whole thing because you can't walk up on the monster without a ticket. At Nats Park, you can walk around the circumference of the ballpark and you'll be looking at a fucking wall for 40% of your travels. So yeah, love me some Coors. Beautiful scenery outside. Like, you know, that's why everyone loves PNC. It's not because of the ballpark, it's because the view outside. Yeah. Like Denver, like it's kind of, it's not exactly the same. You know, there's no like bridge or whatever, but it's like, you know, it's the fucking Rocky Mountains out there. It's beautiful.
Miller Park. Milwaukee.
Overrated, or you're saying was underrated for you?
I thought it was a very nice experience.
Yeah.
And I was there, I don't know, probably 5 years ago at this point. Was my most recent trip, but I really liked it. And
were you there with me?
No. It was a wonderful contrast to, I think the stadium that I had most recently been to a game at, given where I live, was Yankee Stadium. And it was such a wonderful contrast to that because the concession situation at Yankee Stadium is such a goddamn disaster with the concourse width and the line length. And that was just not the case at Milwaukee. And I thought the sight lines were nice and the roof, no roof action. I liked it. Thought it was rock solid.
Dallas?
I would probably say Atlanta, just because it was one of the last, the new park was one of the, I don't think it was the last, one of the last parks that I had been to. But for the same reason, there's cool shit to do around there. Shout out the folks at Shake Shack who after day one just had Shake Shack ready for us to go pick up. Because I was like, hey, if you're going to be open, you're going to be slinging these right now, I will be back tomorrow. Can we just do a little thing here? I'll take care of you. I'll see you at the end of this series. You have Shake Shack dialed up. When we're ready, then I'm going to be your best friend. You're going to be my best friend. And we were best friends. And I got to do the zip line. That was a lot of fun. But I enjoyed, I just enjoyed cruising around for the same reason, like you said, sightlines. I like watching the ball like I do at the Coliseum. I'll pick a game every year where I go and I just sit up in the far right corner. And that's because I like watching the game from that perspective. And I think places that have that or that offer that are very cool.
Dallas, your Mount Rushmore of movies involving bees.
Wow. My Girl. Jason, what's the new one with Jason Statham? The Beekeeper.
You ever see the Wicker Man?
I've not seen the Wicker Man. No,
that's an tough scene with Nick Cage and bees.
Old scary movie, right?
Yeah, there's no, it's not old. But there's a scene with Nick Cage where like bees just attack his face. It's a very tough watch. Tough scene.
Tough scene. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have a depth of movies with bees in them right off the top of my head.
Isn't there a movie called Bees?
My Girl was an incredible pull.
What about the Bee movie, the Jerry Seinfeld vehicle from like 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Yeah.
I was down on that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So My Girl, and what did I say the second one was? I didn't.
I think you said The Beekeeper.
Oh, yeah, The Beekeeper.
The Beekeeper.
Jason Statham.
It's from Moose. What was your welcome to the MLB moment as a podcaster / blogger? Like, when did you realize in the moment that I've made it? I don't know. I feel like I've had a lot of those. I feel like every year there's one. I don't know what my first one would have been. Probably maybe the Pablo Sandoval thing. When that like blew up, I was like, oh shit, like I got Pablo Sandoval suspended. Like, I think I have that queued up right here. Let's see. Fucking
today.
Like I said, this is one thing that I let my teammates down, so it ain't gonna happen anymore. So I learned from that.
Is this something that the manager talked to you about or anything?
Yeah, I apologized with him, with the GM. So my teammates, we had a meeting. I said the things. Like I said, I take the punishment. So, when you grow up, you learn from a lot of things. You growing up every single day in your life. So I learned from that.
Is that why you're not playing today?
Yes. Yes, so I take the punishment, like I said, It's a decision to make. I respect, I break the team rule, so I shouldn't be punishment for that.
Stay off Instagram during the game. I'll catch you. I'll get your ass suspended, dude. So that was a pretty big one for me. Going off the Ashanti concert, what concert did you have little expectations for, but was blown away by after it ended? Or Hot Tub Standard Time Machine, what concert do you wish you were in attendance for?
I mean, I think Woodstock would be the natural answer, right?
Which one?
The fucking real one.
I mean, that's not like an obvious response.
Yeah,
like
yes,
Woodstock 99 was like the fucking concert of the century. What are you talking about? I mean, like, trust me, I like.
I'm not telling you that it wasn't great.
I like both genres. No. Like, I would have loved to have seen Jimi Hendrix at the original Woodstock. And I also would have loved to have seen Korn's set at Woodstock 99.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. But I would for me, everything that comes along with raging in the 60s and having yes.
Was that 69? It was 69 Woodstock?
69.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jayhay?
So
I haven't been to a ton of concerts in my life, but the list is kind of funny. But I would say it's not that I had low expectations when I saw Paul McCartney in Syracuse, but I was like, he's kind of old and whatever. Holy shit. Can that guy still fucking rock it out? He did not take a single sip of water in 3 hours. And it was just unbelievable, the concert he put on. Going back a little bit further in terms of ones where I actually had really muted expectations and they delivered. I saw Blue Oyster Cult in high school.
Ooh.
And thank God they did Don't Fear the Reaper and Burning for You, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be here telling you that it was a good experience. Because I did see Boston once. I drove 3 hours round trip to go see Boston in high school too, and that was the worst concert easily I've ever seen in my life. They did all their new stuff off their new album, and everybody was like, it is crazy that you have a new album. It's crazy. Play more than a feeling and do it again.
I went to Incubus when I was, I think I was like 16.
God, you were such a rebel, dude.
That would have been a fucking great concert.
I was not a huge I was not a huge music dude growing up. Like, it just wasn't. And my buddy, a couple of my friends were very, very musically inclined. And he was like, yeah, you're going to roll. It was just because I had weed. All good.
Yeah.
I was there for a good time. But I was like, oh, fuck. This is fucking great. They played Mexico, song called Mexico.
Yeah.
And like the lights went out, just blacked out, boom. And then Spotlight came on, and homeboy was just in the fucking in a leather chair, like with his head down, playing it, the acoustic. It was fucking dope. It was really cool. I was like, yeah, first train to Mexico. I'm on, dude. I'll go. Let's go.
I feel like I go to concerts I don't want to go to all the time. I feel like I've seen more concerts of concerts I didn't actually want to be at than concerts I did want to be at. Like I've seen fucking Gavin DeGraw. I've seen Rascal Flatts. I've seen Avril Lavigne. I've seen fucking Smashing Pumpkins. No disrespect. I went with Robbie Fox. I had a great time. Like that's my answer for like concert I didn't choose to be at, but actually really enjoyed with Smashing Pumpkins. Like they have a great catalog. I didn't realize how many songs that I would have known. I saw Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z, and I just saw Ashanti. Like that's like fucking almost 10 concerts that I didn't want to be at.
That's like the total number of concerts I've been to.
Yeah,
seriously.
Well, I was going to say, like, there's no way you're signing me up to go and listen to shit that I don't listen to. Hey, dude, you want to come fucking stand around for a couple hours and listen to a bunch of shit that you're not really a fan of? I'm all in. I'm good.
I did that once for a girlfriend in high school. I went to a Blink 182 concert and I was fucking bored.
That would have been awesome.
I did. It just wasn't my thing. I probably would get more out of it now than I did at the time, even though I'm still not a Blink 182 guy, but like that was tough. Pearl Jam's probably the best concert I've ever been to though.
Kings of what was it? Kings of Leon? Yeah. I stiff armed my wife like very early in our relationship. She was like, "Yeah, it's concert. You want to go?" I was like, "What is it?" She was like, "Kings of Leon." I was like, "No, I'm good, man.
No, I'm good."
She was like, "So you want to hang out after?" I was like, "Well, no, I'm not going to go. So no, we're not going to hang out after. I'm not going."
This is from Grant. I'm a returning baseball fan who got slightly reinvested last season. Now I'm following as much as I can this year. Sub to the pod this offseason. Which team or teams should I be following for pure entertainment value, especially for playoff storylines? The Tigers are my main squeeze. I mean, I
Orioles?
guess. And the Dodgers are the obvious answer. The Orioles are another good answer. The Phillies, I feel like you should be following the Phillies because they're going to end up being my pick to win the World Series.
Can I say? Well, let me say something else. How about the AL Central? Instead of a team, watching that right now, just because it's as interesting as it's ever been, you got 4 teams at or near 500 all together.
If you're like a fringe baseball fan and you're trying to really give them the good shit, like if you wanted to get your buddy into your favorite band, you're not giving them the fucking under the radar, like the album that no one talks about, but it's your personal favorite. You're giving them the fucking mainstream like banger. Like that's why it has to be the Dodgers or the Orioles.
I agree. I mean, come on. Those are
Dodgers are just easy though. That's
fine.
Easy.
I know, but that's the answer.
Entertainment value is what he's looking for. You can
watch fucking Shohei and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Tyler Glasnow and Yamamoto and
also
the traveling fans. Like if you're watching the Dodgers on the road and you just see 60% Dodger fans in the stands and you're a baseball fan that doesn't necessarily follow, you'd be like, whoa, what's going on here? Like they're the Beatles this year.
I'm not going to lie. Like the Dodgers just fucking strolling through downtown of wherever the fuckville USA they're playing is cold-blooded.
It is.
Cold-blooded.
It is.
Also, from that guy's specific perspective, he's a Detroit person. We're giving him an East Coast team and we're giving him a West Coast team to get invested in entertainment-wise. So he's got a nice smattering across the baseball viewing landscape.
There you go. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. A lot of repeat questions here. Is Ellie De La Cruz in any of your MVP races?
I mean, not currently for me.
No.
Doesn't mean he can't get there, but
he's certainly in a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think I love to give respect to as many people as possible. I think functionally the NL MVP right now is a conversation between 2 teammates, and then everybody else is just a, like kind of a pat on the head sort of thanks for coming right now. That doesn't mean it's going to play out that way all season, but pretending like the NL MVP is anybody but Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani is currently kind of just a waste of time.
It's disingenuous.
That's how I feel about throwing people into that conversation too.
But at this point in the season, there's often 5, 6, 7, 8 candidates. It's just it's just like, okay, where do you draw the line? Right now, the line is at 2 people.
There's not. There's not.
And whether it gets different or whether the complexion of the race changes is something that's going to come down to those players and whether those guys can keep the distance. But
Marty asked, when will Dallas Braden and Jayhay admit that Babe Ruth killed his wife?
Whoa.
What?
I'm not admitting anything slanderous like that on a recorded podcast.
I'm not here to rewrite history.
Yeah, I don't have high-powered attorneys on retainer.
Yeah. Daniel says, why does Dallas interrupt everybody when they are talking? I'll answer that. Because I
have so much more important shit to say.
He's always high, and stoners, they like to blurt out their thoughts the second that they get them, because if they don't,
they're gone.
They're gone. So if Dallas has something to say, he doesn't have the ability to wait for the other person to finish talking. He just has to let you know right then what he has to say.
Yep.
It's never going to change. It's been 7 years of Dallas has a thought. Here it comes. 7 years.
Accurately diagnosed.
Yeah. A lot of Mason Miller questions about trades and whatnot. I'm not going to ask those. What was the most disappointing debut that you can remember? Disappointing debut. I feel like we maybe had this conversation recently, like on the opposite end of the spectrum for
what the most exciting debut or the most anticipated
came out. Yeah, kind of just like who had all the hype but didn't live up to it, I guess.
This is not like an answer in any objective way, but for me, subjectively, I just vividly remember carving out time in my day and going and sitting at the bar with my then girlfriend and getting some drinks to watch Julio Urias's career debut. Because I believe it was a Dayside Friday game against the Cubbies, and it just wasn't anything special. But he's obviously we can be disappointed in him for much more substantive reasons now. But I do remember the hype around him and being very excited to watch this very unique pitcher pitch, and didn't play out that day.
We had a prospect by the name of Michael Taylor. The A's had a prospect by the name of Michael Taylor. And I just remember, like, all I was hearing about was how great this kid was going to be, the potential power and blah, 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 blah. And nope. That was not the case.
I completely forgot about him.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's how that happened.
That sequence. That's what it was. He was part of but go back down the rabbit hole. He was initially traded with Travis d'Arnaud and Kyle Drabek to the Blue Jays in the Roy Halladay deal where Halladay went to Philly. And then I guess it was a 3-way deal. Is that what it was? And he was traded by the Blue Jays to the A's for Brett Wallace.
Yes. We gave away the third baseman who we had just gotten, I believe, at the time from Houston.
Yes. And the Brett Wallace deal was the Matt Holliday trade. You got him from St. Louis.
Or St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah. He was the big piece in the Matt Holliday deal. Yep. Because
he then went to Houston.
Wow.
Or ended up in Houston.
Yeah.
Right?
Michael Taylor. Yes, correct. Michael Taylor ended up getting, he only got 114 career plate appearances at the big league level. That is not very much for a guy with his prospect
and
pedigree.
That's one. Yeah, it was like this was going to be a dude, and he did not turn out to be that dude.
Hit a $167 with 470 OPS over those 114 plate appearances with one single solo home run.
But a very, very nice dude and a very self-deprecating dude. He had short arms, and he would wear a T-Rex T-shirt to the field. A lot of the day, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. The recency bias would be Jack Leiter.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there.
Jackson Holiday. pretty disappointing. But, there's still time for Jackson Holiday. Jack Leiter, I mean, maybe not so much. I don't know, which sucks because I love him. This one, maybe for Jayhay more so than anybody. Who has had the least impressive MVP of the last 20 years? So that cuts off the Miguel Tejada one in 2002. So doesn't qualify.
So I know who immediately comes to mind. Let me pull up. I'm not going to spend an enormous amount of time on this, obviously, because we're doing a podcast, but I know who I want to answer, and I just want to make sure there's no really obvious person that I'm missing. So that takes us back to 20. Okay. Yep. So he fits in. Okay, that's good. I would say, I'm going to stick with, I could do some Jimmy Rollins slander right now, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with the original answer that I came up with in my head, which was the 2006 AL MVP, Justin Morneau.
Okay.
I think that probably could have been a couple of other people's MVPs. I think that probably I think history would be marginally more complete if that was Derek Jeter's MVP and not Justin Morneau's. I don't think Justin Morneau's career necessarily needs an MVP with it. So if I was, going and knocking on doors and taking away MVPs from the last 20 years, I would take Morneau's away, I think.
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
For that,
2004, like, was Vladdy deserving of his MVP in 2004?
Morneau wasn't even the most valuable fucking player on his own team. He may have been the third most valuable player. I'm not even fucking kidding around. He may have been the third most valuable player on his own team, and he won the MVP behind Mauer and Santana. You're saying what did Vlad Guerrero's look like
in 2004? Was he deserving of that?
I mean,
no, wasn't it Ichiro?
Yeah, by the numbers, Ichiro.
That was the year Ichiro had like the 264 hits or whatever it was.
So, yeah, I think statistically you can make a case that was, quote unquote, as egregious as the one that I just mentioned. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the baseball picture of that era is fine with Vlad Guerrero having a single MVP, Ichiro having his MVP, which was debatable in its own right the year that he won it, right? And maybe he should have won this year instead of 01 or whatever it might be. I just think Justin Morneau is, he's like a fine entry into the Hall of Very Good. He's not even like a fringe Hall of Famer. And I just feel like he was not the most valuable player that season. He was not the most valuable player on his own team. And, I think Johan having a Cy Young MVP combo or Derek Jeter having one single MVP in his career would be more appropriate.
We want Dallas's experience pitch by pitch. That may be too much. Dallas's experience pitch by pitch facing Albert Pujols, Barry Bonds, Miguel Cabrera, etc. versus absolute GOATs. Do you remember them all vividly or no?
I mean, like some different at bats against Miggy. I did not face Barry, and I did not face Albert Pujols either.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like the
year that Albert came over, was my last year. I was hurt. I was fucking in the spin cycle, ready to be washed. Yeah. So Albert Albert ducked me, Trout ducked me. But when I'll give you this, just like as far as we'll see, he's not a GOAT at all. It was just a really cool experience. So I guess Griffey was a really cool. I just remember standing on the mound and like every fucking pitch I was throwing, I would throw and I would look over like he's hitting third. I'm about to face the kid. This is fucking dope. This is dope. And I couldn't tell you the first, I think actually it might have been Brandon Phillips. And then I forget who else. And I just like him walking up. I was just like watching him the whole way to the fucking, to the plate. And I'm just like, dude, this is this is unreal for me right now. Unfucking real. And I never, ever, ever had that feeling with anybody else. Anybody. I was never at any point in time like, oh shit. All right. Like this is this fucking dude. Nope. But with him, for sure. For sure. Got him to roll over, ground ball. But I was like, this in my head, everything I threw was going to be blasted 500 feet, like in what's the movie? Little Big League.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just playing that over in my head. I was like, this is going to be the result. I'm going to throw this pitch, and it's going to be the movie clip of him just fucking shitting all over me. Yeah, I did punch out Miguel Cabrera looking on a fastball down and in that had no business being called a strike, but it was. So, ha. Thanks for coming, Miggy.
That's like Pat Light striking out Mike Trout. That was just the score was like 20-2. So he just punched him out on a pitch like 6 inches above the zone. This question from Drew. This will call back to basically Barry Bonds. You can either catch with a bat or hit with a glove. Which one do you choose? Barry said he would just catch the ball with the bat. That's how he hit.
Yep.
I'm just
Learned how to do it.
Yeah, catching the ball with the bat. And even you, if you learn how to do that, even you can be like Barry Bonds someday. Why does Jayhay hate things that shouldn't be hated? What player, and maybe this will be the last one, what player will return the biggest haul by the end of the trade deadline? And why is it Mason Miller?
You know,
I just threw that in. I'm just asking.
Things were going well.
If it was Mason Miller, then I want to know.
It's not going to be.
Okay,
you're smarter than that. You're better than that.
Hypothetical
You're better
hot
than
tub.
that. No,
hypothetical hot tub. If it was Mason Miller, I'm just asking.
Is it going to be Heston Kierstead?
I was interpreting.
What are they going to go out and get?
I thought it was interpreting the other direction. Like which piece
which player will get the biggest haul? Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
probably gonna be Juan Soto.
Oh. I think I'll go Jose Barrios.
Ooh. What player will fetch the biggest haul at the deadline besides Mason Miller?
I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, let's do this practically really fast.
Well, the White Sox aren't going to trade Lou Bob.
Yeah, they don't have anybody else more valuable than who we've established to trade. The Marlins don't have that person either, unless Jesus Luzardo is put out there.
I think Jesus Luzardo will be put out there. I think he will be. I mean, the Reds are currently sitting in last place with the Cardinals right now, but I don't think that they're going to sell off any.
Yeah, like who?
Like even if it's like Jonathan India, like that's not
the answer.
No, that's not the answer.
No, they'll be in.
The Angels don't.
What about the Mets?
Have that
the Mets have some pieces that people. I mean, Steve Cohen implied that the Mets were going to be sellers already at the trade deadline, and immediately deleted the tweet. I don't know if you saw that, but
you've got the Pete Alonso contract situation pending. I think it's a little bit challenging to trade a net negative defensive first baseman mid-season who is not
going nowhere,
who is not having a tremendous year overall. Like I feel like that's just going to be hard to find the right fit and for the Mets to get proper value. But if they fall far enough out and contract talks are far enough apart, then maybe that becomes more realistic. I don't know. I'm still not even sure that a walk year Pete Alonso, in fact, I don't think it would get you more than a Jose Barrios or Jesus Luzardo anyway. So probably not the answer.
Yeah, I think.
What about
an arm is the answer?
What about Bregman? You said.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Again, walk year, right? Like
it's a walk year and a down year.
Yeah, I think it's a pitcher. I think it's maybe we have not identified the right ones, but I think
it's Luzardo.
Yeah, maybe we have.
Yeah. It's Luzardo. It's
I mean, there's not a ton else. Like the Cardinals aren't going to trade Sonny Gray.
well, Gosman.
Yeah, the complicating thing with Gosman is like, what version
Also
are you
down
getting, and
Yeah.
what and who are you being asked to pay for? Right, like it's there's kind of that gap going on right now.
Sure.
Yeah, Blue Jays are obviously, as we discussed, are the wild card here as it relates to the trade deadline because they have maybe as much interesting individual pieces as like the other teams combined, in a sense.
Yeah.
In terms
I
of
mean,
like
there's no
headline
way that-
guys. Yeah.
There's no way that Seattle moves off of anybody that they're working with.
No, and they're winning.
No,
They're
they're
leading
not
the
gonna be
division too right now.
sellers.
I mean, I
Yeah.
know that could change,
They're in
but
No,
I don't.
First
Well,
place.
I don't know that anybody's given them a reason to not think that they can win the division. And generally, they push forward, or at least to the side,
Well,
and not back.
because he's a he's a slanger.
I mean, basically anyone but the Dodgers should be considered sellers in the NL West, really.
Well,
I don't know.
the Giants situation could be interesting, but like
Yeah, who the fuck do you want on the Giants?
they're not trading Brandon. What Brandon?
Logan
Logan
Webb. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. You don't extend that guy just to flip him.
No, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Cy Young pick.
Yeah, some are calling him their Cy Young pick this year.
I did.
I did as
Yeah,
well.
we're well aligned on that. I think Dallas picked Ollie Marmol for Cy Young.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Ollie.
Lance Lynn, probably. Oh no, it was
Yeah.
Spencer Strider.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app usually go down the closer that you get to first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. And, we talked about getting tickets to the All-Star game. We will be down there. We're going to be throwing together a bunch of different events for the fans that come out. It'll be a lot of fun. But we ourselves need to be able to get into the game. So shout out to Game Time. We will be using the Game Time app to get into the game. Last minute deals, save up to 60% off. Buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. They've got the flash deals going. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. They've got the zone deals. Save even more when you choose a section and let the Game Time app choose the seats for you. All in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy. They've got the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is also covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account. Use the promo code BID for $20 off. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I believe, Jake, it is that time.
Wow. Welcome to Here we go. Welcome to Baseball is Dead, Family Feud, Fast Money. I'm your man, Justin Havens. You guys know the deal by now. This is Family Feud number 3 last week. It was a walk-off. It was a one and done for DB. Coming to
He almost missed getting 209 points on episode 209. That would have been too much.
Yeah.
for me.
If you
That'd been
if
a
you
lot
missed
of
that, go
overload.
back and watch it. Is the easy answer there. But we're back, obviously. Thanks to the Discord for providing those rapid results that Jake and I definitely had faith that you would deliver. Other people on this podcast maybe thought it would take a longer period of time. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. Are we going to stick with the same order?
Yeah.
Are we going to let
Mhm.
DB goes first? Jared's the closer. Okay. So, Jared, you know the deal. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
I know the deal.
Hopefully you
All
get
right,
to play
have
this
fun.
time.
I would love to play.
I would love for you to play. All right, Dallas, are you basically ready?
I'm here.
Okay. I will try to read the questions faster, but clearly. Ready?
And quickly.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Ready.
Out of 100 BID fans, here are the results. Which NL West team has the best stadium/viewing experience?
San Francisco Giants.
What's the single best traditional ballpark food?
Hot dog.
Which MLB team currently has the least amount of hope for the future?
The Chicago White Sox.
Who is the most likely to end up the AL
10
MVP
seconds.
by the end of 2024?
The AL MVP by 2024. I heard some
Yes.
Bobby Wood Jr.
Okay.
Bobby Wood Jr.
And who is the best bet to be the Red Sox representative at the All-Star game?
Cutter Crawford.
Nicely done. Thank you, Dallas. You got them all in time. Let's add.
I'm getting other names thrown in here. Jake, are you doing the math again, Jake?
Doing the math.
You did a good job.
Are you doing the math?
You did a good job. You did a good job.
It's not 200 good though.
Jake, what's your number?
Throw yours out first.
I haven't added it up yet. I just have the numbers in front of me. Let's see. Okay. DB set the stage. Jared, come on back.
He still can't hear you.
Well, I'm trying to do this.
Jared!
How do we do?
All right. Well, you are going to get to play.
Okay.
That's the good news. The other good
How many
news
points do I
is
need?
that you have been put in a position to bring this home on maybe the first or second question.
Okay.
Dallas got 182.
Okay.
The kid's unstoppable.
He's
The kid is
unstoppable, and
unfucking stoppable.
There was one heavy question, but everything else is pretty well distributed. So
right.
we'll see how it goes. Depending on what you answer, you need 18 points. Obviously, is the quick math there. Depending on how you answer question number one, this could be a instant celebration. Are you ready? No pressure. You can obviously
Don't
we're
fuck
going
this
to
up.
do all 5 questions if you need them. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
Question 1. Which NL West team has the best stadium/viewing experience?
Petco Park.
Dun, 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 dun. That was the only answer available to you that ended the game after that question. So congratulations to you for that. Quick run through of all of the questions. So good job, guys. We're 3 for 3. We have not had a failed Family Feud yet. Question 1 was which NL West team has the best stadium/viewing experience? Dallas answered the Giants. That was the number 1 answer with 36 points. Jared provided the number 2 answer to seal the deal, which was the Padres at 29. Rockies 15, Dodgers 13, D-backs 2, and then a handful of teams that were not in the NL West also received answers. So that's the beauty of Family Feud, so you get those outliers.
Shout out Discord.
Yeah. I love Fenway, dude. Fucking Fenway Park.
The question that Dallas got correct that was the foundation of his big score. What's the single best traditional ballpark food item?
Hot dog.
79 said hot dog. The next closest answer was 5 points for peanuts.
Nachos. Peanuts.
Which
Holy
MLB
shit.
team currently has the least amount of hope for the future?
The White Sox.
The White Sox was the number 1 answer. That was 31. Marlins 24. A's 18. Rockies 14. Angels, Nationals, Orioles, and Dodgers all received votes. Maybe there's some sort
Orioles.
maybe there's some sort of perverse heartbreak incoming sort of lack of hope. I'm not sure about that. Who is the most likely to end up the AL MVP by the end of 2024? Jared, do you want to take a guess since you didn't get a chance?
Juan Soto.
Juan Soto was the number 1 answer with 42. Dallas got the number 2 answer, which was Bobby Witt Jr. at 23. Gunnar Henderson got 10. Kyle Tucker 7. Adley 5. No other person got more than 2. And then, who is the best bet to be the Red Sox representative at the All-Star game?
Tanner Houck.
That was the number 1 answer with 31. This was very evenly split overall. Dallas came in with the number 4 answer. So in some ways, his least impressive performance, but overall, obviously excellent.
Who do you say?
Cutter
Devers?
Crawford with 13. Devers had 19. Tyler O'Neill 15 in between Hauk and Crawford. Congratulations, guys.
Wow. We did it.
Love it.
Maybe next week I'll go first. Next week.
Yeah, we'll switch it up.
So someone wants to play.
I wanna
play.
I wanna play.
I don't-
Dallas is too good at this. I want to play.
I don't blame
wanna
him. He
play.
wants to get the full slate of questions. We'll make sure that we'll keep it fresh.
I mean, the
next
last 2 weeks I've gotten one question.
week. Yeah, that's tough.
Buddy, what the fuck you want to do? You know who your guy?
You're too good.
You're too good.
Come on.
You're
Actually, you know what? Like, he is really good, but like when we usually go through, I also give the number 1 answer.
maybe you guys are just both really good.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if I'm good or not because my answers aren't officially recorded for the record.
That's
Yeah, and we're gonna need Jake derailing you, talking in your ear, throwing up hand signs. It's
That's
there's
fine.
a lot going on. Hey, there's a lot going on in this leadoff spot, but
My
I know
favorite part of
I know
He's
you're
the
itching.
leadoff spot.
My favorite part
I
of
know
Family
you're-
Feud is those moments of panic that set in for Dallas at some point over the 30 seconds where what
Yeah.
well, because the minute that Jake starts throwing in the countdown, it fucks me up. I'm thinking, and then Jake's like,
I know. We know that we
10.
know how the
And I'm like, what
we
do
know
you
how your brain works. We get it.
Guys,
10 what? 10 what?
Overloaded. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
For sure.
Love it. Love the feud.
love the feud. You know what else I love, Jayhay? And you're going to tell us all about is Magic Spoon.
I love Magic Spoon as well. And I got to tell you,
Mm.
I'm glad they're on board.
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution was to add more protein to my diet because, compared to you guys, I'm a little bit frail. I'm tall, relatively
Yeah.
speaking, but I could pack on some more healthy weight. And
LBs,
Magic
yeah.
Spoon makes that easier and more delicious than ever. Growing up, cereal was one of my favorite parts of being a kid. I mean, I think we can all relate to that, right? Loved waking up in the morning with a nice, fresh, cold bowl of cereal. But as I got older, I had to watch for sugar and empty carbs. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but high protein and less sugar.
Mm.
We got a variety pack available, 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. You might recognize those as the 4 horsemen of your cereal,
Yeah.
of traditional cereal flavors. So they've got it all.
Good
It
point.
includes 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, depending on which option you choose. But obviously, you're getting a lot regardless. And 4 to 5 grams of net carbs, only 140 calories a serving. It's high protein, keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, and soy free. So, for somebody like me, that's all very, very important. My personal favorite flavor that I've tried so far, and there are more available as far as I know, but my favorite flavor is fruity.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean it's going to be your favorite flavor.
That's true.
Cocoa, frosted, peanut butter, a lot of options. Go to magicspoon.com/baseball to grab a variety pack, the one I just talked about, and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code baseball. That is, you can't forget that.
No.
Baseball
That's why we're all here.
at checkout to save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon, get this, is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100%. They leave no percentage on the table. Happiness guarantee. It's kind of like my Nugs, actually.
Yeah.
100% guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they will refund your money and they won't ask you any questions about it. Remember, start your day off right with a delicious bowl of high protein cereal at magicspoon.com/baseball and use that code baseball. That's BASEBALL. No tricks there, to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. I think we can all get on board with that sentiment.
Sure. I love the protein aspect of it.
I know that's big for you
I mean, I've been
as a gym guy.
as a guy that's trying to lose fat and while maintain muscle. Not the easiest thing in the world. Step 1, get bullied by Dallas. Step 2, get the right diet.
I was going to say, it looks like it's going well for you.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I'm down 7 pounds.
Well, I mean, I think I've had a really good podcast, and I started my day with some Magic Spoon. So let that go ahead and speak for itself. You guys, if you need a reminder, go check out how quickly I answered the 1987 question. That
is true.
I don't want to draw a 1-to-1 correlation between that and Magic Spoon, but some are doing that.
Some are doing that. And rightfully so. Before we get out of here, we got some nugs from the nug chef himself, Justin Havens, who I'm hoping you have some positive Red Sox nugs in there because you are desperately in need of getting back on the good side of Red Sox fans.
I have no Red Sox nugs. So those people can go ahead and
poor strategy.
I do have a great Yankees nugget to start it off, though. Aaron Judge became the 5th Yankees player ever to have a game with a home run and 3 or more doubles, joining Hideki Matsui in 2003, Roger Maris in 1962, Joe DiMaggio in 41, and Lou Gehrig in 1926. Judge obviously did that yesterday. This one, I don't usually do other people's nugs in this segment, but she's a friend of the pod, and this one is a good one, I think. So I am going to share it for listeners who didn't see it. Jackson Chourio, per Sarah Langs, 5 homers and 5 stolen bases, at least those numbers, through first 39 career games at an age of 20 or younger in modern baseball history. That's since 1900. Chourio, 24, Fernando Tatis in 2019, Carlos Correa in 2015, and Ken Griffey Jr. in 1989. So I know it's been a little bit of a quiet start in some ways for him, but a lot of reason to be extremely optimistic. Ranger Suarez did indeed become the 7th pitcher in the expansion era to start a season 8-0 with an ERA below 1.50 through his first 9 starts. Joining, for those who didn't hear yesterday, Jake Arrieta, Ubaldo Jimenez, Pedro, Fernando Valenzuela, Vida Blue, and Juan Marichal. Martin Perez is the first pitcher in MLB this season and the first Pirates pitcher since Derek Holland in 2020 to allow 5 or more homers in 5 or fewer innings pitched. Some nice things about the Rockies. Jordan Beck of the Rockies became the first Colorado player to have 5 or more RBI out of the 9-hole since Jamie Carroll in 2007. Austin Gomber, who, you know, I've poked fun at a little bit as being one of the pieces in the maligned Nolan Arenado trade. He had a 5.53 ERA across 263 and 2/3 innings pitched for the Rockies from 22 to 23. He has a 3.02 ERA in his first 9 starts this season, including 6 scoreless on Wednesday. May of 2024 is the first month in his career with multiple outings of 6+ scoreless since June of 21, so almost 3 full years. And lastly, Javier Assad dealt again last night, lowering his ERA to a $1.49 through 9 starts. Here's some context on what he and Imanaga could do, who has a 0.96 ERA through 8 starts. They can become the first pair of teammates to each have ERAs of $1.50 or lower through their first 9 starts of a season since Don Sutton and Claude "Don't Call Me Joel" Osteen did it for the 1972 Dodgers. And those are the Nugs.
Wow.
We all remember
Some
Sutton and Osteen.
Dirty mound work.
Who could forget?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe on Monday, some positive Red Sox nugs.
I'll bring them.
Feel like you should cook those up? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely cook those up. Dallas, any final thoughts?
Yeah, it's supposed to absolutely piss and be like 70 mile. We're supposed to have 70-mile-an-hour winds here in Houston.
Isn't there a roof?
Unaffected? Yep, unaffected because of the roof. But just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Jayhay, final thoughts?
Excited for the skiing start tomorrow, as we talked about. And I just saw, this is maybe a topic for a slow day in the future or Monday or whatever, but There's an article that came up on Fangraphs that I'm just seeing that I'm now very excited to read, which is delving into Giancarlo Stanton's Cooperstown viability. And I admit that is not that's not a topic that I had really digested fully with him, just because I feel like his career arc has been kind of weird and also in severe decline over the last few seasons. But we are talking about a guy who mathematically has a pretty good shot at 500 homers. And while that is not the, walk into Cooperstown mark that maybe it used to be, it is a mark that I think forces you to at least reckon with or have the conversation about Giancarlo Stanton in the Hall of Fame, even if the answer ends up being no, which I think is where ultimately people will land. But just kind of an interesting little thing. Recommend checking out the article. But just generally speaking, that's something I'm going to be noodling on over the weekend.
Jake's takes?
I think we got to start posting the Family Feud answers on social, because I know Jayhay mentioned like the NL West question. A few people answered non-NL West teams, but we also got one answer that was just National League. So I think would be pretty funny to start throwing these answers out there.
I mean, I told you from day one that the survey takers were on crack, and people ran to their defense.
Well, this is our listeners. These are our listeners. So if our listeners are on crack, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Huge.
We need to embrace them.
Huge in the cracked-ins.
I think we should.
These are the days of our lives.
I think posting them would be funny too. The Feud segment's great. Everybody loves it.
I love it.
People can't get enough of it. They throw their children down to rush over to the computer when they get that Discord notification to fill out the forms. And that's all that you can ask.
100%. Sign up for the Discord if you want to be part of the survey takers. Baseball's dead Discord. Well, all right. That's it from us for this week. We will be back on Monday. We kind of took a peek at this weekend slate. There's nothing really that jumps out.
Orioles, Mariners,
start.
little AL Central showdown, Twins, Guardians at the top. We'll see. We can digest it on Monday.
Yeah. So, all right. Enjoy your weekend of baseball. We'll be back on Monday, and we'll see you then.
We out.